really important when constructing my magazine front cover, contents page and double page spreads, as well as the billboard and website. As well, without access to modern digital technology, I would not have been able to make any of my products to a professional standard. However, even though theorists like Gauntlet in 2007 claim technology can make anyone a producer of a media text, you will not be a successful producer unless you can actually use the technology properly. This meant over the year I had to improve my ability to work with Blogger, Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, YouTube, SurveyMonkey and iMovie, as last year I did not really become proficient enough with any of these technologies. I also needed to learn a new program this year called Dreamweaver to make my website. The internet was critical for every part of my planning, production and research, as without it I would not have been able to easily research existing products, what my audience wanted, or tutorials to advance my skills. Also, without the internet I would not have been able to use Blogger for my planning and for distributing my print products online. During the production process of my products, I used a variety of media technologies relating to photography, such as 3 types of Canon camera, the 5D, XD and 600D, along with a variety of lenses, filters, memory cards and batteries. I also even used my smartphone as well to take photos for my location planning. I learned a lot about photography this year and spent a lot of time figuring out how to use filters can improve my images in the winter sun and how to position myself in the right place at the right time of day to get the best results. I also took all my images using manual settings this year instead of just opting for the easy option of using automatic focus. This led to better, more creative and professional results. Looking at my images compared to my AS images, I can see that I have really improved and that I am not useless at taking images. What I think this shows is that I am better at and have more interest in nature and landscape photography than I did portrait last year. It was not an easy process though, and as I said earlier, it took me months and a lot of reshoots to get images I end up using for my products. I then used software such as Photoshop, Illustrator and InDesign in post-production to complete my print products. I used Photoshop to edit my images by adjusting brightness, contrast and adding further filters. Some of my images needed very little editing, but others needed more touching up as the winter sun creates some odd light effects that do not always look strong enough to be professional. I also had to use Photoshop to resize and crop images, which was something I remembered from last year. To design my layouts and add fonts, I used a combination of Illustrator and Design. I used Illustrator for creating interesting text effects from images I'd taken and used in InDesign to get the professional, well-ordered layouts you see on my final pages. I mostly used the fonts available with this program, but I had to download and add a few newer ones to fit the conventions creatively. I did all my print products first as I wanted to do the website last, as I knew it would take me time to learn the new technology, Dreamweaver. I had never used this software before, and the first site I made for this project broke or corrupted and I had to start again. I think this could have been because I did not fully understand the coding and tried to make it look complicated. However, my second attempt went a lot better, and I think I managed to complete a website that looks fairly professional, but stays with my house style and fits the genre. I think websites were slightly harder to make than I was expecting. I thought it would be just like dragging and dropping what you wanted where you wanted it to go, in a similar way to Photoshop and InDesign work. It was not like this. I do know now that I could make a website again, as I know how to create pages, add text, add images, and make this site live using a company. Like last year with the last steps to my advanced portfolio, I've been filming myself doing this evaluation with a blue screen behind me. I'm using the Canon 6D for this. Once I have stopped talking, I will use iMovie to edit the final version and add the images of my final work behind me. I will then upload it to my YouTube channel before embedding it as the last post of my blog. In conclusion, using various media technologies throughout the making of my products this year has helped me master skills I did not master at AS. I enjoyed the process a lot more than I thought I would, and have now even decided to do a media degree next year.